Hello, everyone, and welcome to my Capstone presentation. My name is Sage Allen. The central question of my Capstone presentation and paper is what it means to be a celebrity and dissecting the true meaning. Beginning with the abstract of my paper and presentation, I'm going to be focusing a lot today on the relationships and the codependency between media, the public, and celebrities themselves, and how it all contributes to celebrity culture. You'll see that there's a demand and an appeal to know more beyond a superficial level. Specifically focusing on Cyntoia Brown, 6ix9ine, and Britney Spears today. You'll see how there's support for the overall thesis I make regarding what makes a celebrity and what it means to be one, and also just what accompanies the experience. We'll see how today's media platforms, such as streaming services, profit off these truths, and how all of it's inherently based within communication. All right, beginning with the introduction of the paper and presentation, I want to accomplish three things in specific today. One, unpacking the fascination with celebrity culture. Two, understanding the criteria of what it means to be a celebrity, kind of unpacking that definition. And lastly, arguing the similarities and differences that exist and always have, no matter the time in history. We'll also be looking at examples from streaming services like Netflix and Hulu and how they profit off the celebrity culture. Sometimes it's actually non-consensual, and that brings up a question of ethics to be discussed at a later time. Not in this presentation, but we will be seeing how that generates an appeal for celebrities to get their name out there, to have that notoriety that some are, given without their consent, or some intentionally pursue. Beginning with Cyntoia Brown's story, my paper will go into more depth about her background, her personal case history, but you'll draw a lot of similarities from it to previous ones that have taken the nation by storm, such as the O.J. Simpson trial, the Casey Anthony case, and so forth. All right, so beginning directly with the literature review, this portion of the paper definitely focuses a lot on historian Jay Borston's work and how he has unpacked his own theories of when it comes to celebrity culture and the media, kind of that parasitic relationship. But he also really specifies a lot of his work can kind of be boiled down to the fact that celebrities are known for that kind of shallow and surface level appearance, composition, disposition that they portray. And it fuels this desire to want to know more about your favorite celebrity. Media outlets of any sort want to be the first to report on it and kind of give way to this phenomenon that we only see a snapshot of their lives and we want to know more. So celebrity culture is definitely fueled by this need to know more, unpack more, understand more, and this creates an appeal. And knowing how to work this appeal has proved really beneficial for a lot of celebrities as they understand that their whatever image they may put out, whatever antics they portray in the media, it's only going to lead ultimately for people wanting to know more, see more, hear more, so forth. All right, so as mentioned earlier, today I'm going to be focusing on three celebrities in particular. Starting from the left, we have Britney Spears. In the center, we have Cyntoia Brown. And on the right, we have Daniel Hernandez, also known as 6ix9ine. These three celebrities are extremely different, as we'll learn, both in appearance and how they portray themselves in the public eye. But we'll note how at the end of this presentation, you'll see that all three of them share certain qualities that make them the celebrities they are today. Now, Cyntoia Brown is an excellent case of someone who did not choose the spotlight, similar to many other public trials that have gone viral, throughout the nation, similar to Casey Anthony or O.J. Simpson. She never chose a spotlight. She's an overnight sensation, which has generated massive press from coast to coast, both positive and negative, depending on which side of her case verdict that you're on, or whether people agree with her clemency appeal. She is definitely conservative in nature, but she carries many of these basic celebrity criteria that we'll note she shares with her counterparts that we're going to go into depth later. A lot of this is focused on in her Netflix documentary that was aired, and it kind of goes into more detail about how she didn't choose a spotlight, but she's definitely been forced to deal with it. All right, so beginning with 6ix9ine, aka Danny Hernandez. He's definitely an outlandish entertainer, both in his antics and his appearance and his general demand from the public. Directly relies on this. When he's not generating that constant need for attention or those shocking headlines, his overall demand fluctuates, and it reflects in his status as a celebrity. Sometimes he is considered top celebrity, sometimes he's not. It really just depends on how in demand he is at the time. So the biggest takeaway from 6ix9ine is that when you don't have that constant attention as a celebrity and you're not generating those constant headlines, it lessens your status, and also it increases your privacy, which we'll note later that with a heightened elevation in the celebrity world, you do garner more of a loss for privacy. Now, Britney Spears is arguably one of the most well-known of the three that we'll be focusing on today. Unfortunately, this being said, she is kind of a poster child for negative press. She has generated a lot of that just from her elevated status, being an A-lister, and the public and media both having that desire to know more about her, see more about her. She's lost a lot of privacy in that sense. So kind of all of her demons are out there for the world to see, all of her skeletons in the closet. She is an extreme case. This doesn't always happen with celebrities, but the particular documentary that I focus on in the paper, Framing Britney Spears via Hulu, kind of goes into more depth about how the media portrays her and how that negative light follows her career around. All right, so getting down to the discussion, the nitty gritty parts, we see that celebrities differ. That's very apparent in the appearance of the three that we've discussed, but they all share baseline qualities. So knowing that celebrity culture has been around forever, even before technology, we understand that celebrities aren't always created in a consensual way. Sometimes people find themselves in the spotlight due to something they've done, their antics, what they've said, so forth. But it's really that public appeal and that desire to know more that fuels their elevated status within society. So from this, we see that originality creates legacies. So if something's never been done before, that person's more likely to be remembered long after they're no longer in demand or sought after by the public. And we see how this kind of dynamic of relevance, demand is organized by tiers. So there's A-list celebrities, B-list, so forth, all the way down to D-list. And depending on the heightened demands, the appeals, the wanting to know more from the public and media outlets alike, it elevates that person. So it's something important to note that no matter what the celebrity in question does for a living, whether it's an entertainer, musician, artist of any sort, reality TV, if they have a heightened desire to know more about them, then it'll definitely elevate their status. Conclusion. I go into more depth about this in my paper, but there's 4 main qualities that make a celebrity, and that is the notoriety on a national level or a large scale, collective public interest, consistent media coverage, and the garnering of a loss of respect for their privacy. So these 4 qualities are definitely codependent. They rely on each other. It's not possible to have one without the other, but still remain the celebrity that most are accustomed to. So say you only have one of the 2 or so forth, you wouldn't be a household name. You wouldn't be nationally or even globally recognized as a celebrity. And it's important that the status of each, the more elevated it is, the higher the statuses of the celebrity. So that's where you get those A-listers like Britney Spears, who have all 4, but on a heightened scale, as opposed to say Centoya Brown, who might have all four, but not in the sense that Britney Spears does. So we see how these different echelons are created, and we see how celebrity culture is fueled by these four, which are all superficial in nature inherently. So none of these four are really going to give you a great understanding into who the celebrity is, what kind of person they are, what they do in their private life. But it'll definitely fuel that desire to know more, and that's where the media comes in. The media sees a demand, a heightened need to want to know more, and they are codependent on creating celebrities, wanting to know more about them, and putting people in the spotlight who the public are demanding to see. I appreciate everyone listening to my capstone presentation. My actual paper goes into a lot more depth on these subjects, and there's a lot more context as to what I'm referring to. I want to thank Professor Eckstein for all his time and all his dedication this semester in guiding us on the right path. It's been an excellent experience. And here I have my references listed if you'd like to know more. Thank you for your time.